accuracy.
Man, stop.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this.
You just want to defend your bus pick, and it was ass.
I just want to get to the next segment.
Apologize to that man.
Let's talk about it. ICE in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, but let's focus on Minnesota, man. Because I got friends in Minnesota. I got college friends in Minnesota, and one of them the other day actually posted that how fearful she is even leaving the house, and her mom calls and checks on her all the time when she leaves the house because of ICE running around doing the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? G, you asked a question, man, about Black people, and is it time, and relating it to Black Lives Matter, and is it time for us kind of to come off the sidelines in support of the communities that this is really affecting? What's your thoughts, bro? Because I'm conflicted, but what's your thoughts? Or Jerry, if you want, whoever want to start.
I did too. I am too. I asked the question because I wanted it, because part of me wants to say, yeah, but a big part of me wants to say, fuck that. Y'all voted for this shit.
But we can agree it is trash what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I think
without 100% doubt, it's super trash. And it is this, I mean, the part of me that wants to say, yeah, we need to get off the sidelines, because when we had the BLM movement in 2020, people don't realize that the Black Lives Matter movement had already started, and it started with that rash of police killings with Mike Brown in St. Louis, and then they had Philando Castile. It was just a rash of police killings, from going all the way back to Trayvon Martin back in 2012. And so I get that there would be a populace that say we stood up for y'all in 2020, we marched and we protested with the BLM movement. But then some of y'all allowed the right-wing media to do like they always do and try to discredit the movement. So, and try to make it seem like it was, it was all about communism and it was a money grab and all that. And I'm pretty sure there were some allegations that may or may not have been found to be true when it comes to money. But the movement and the purpose behind the movement was righteous. And so when people kind of, put that to the side and kind of, did not fight for the stance on Black lives and the stance against police brutality, and allowed the defund the police statement to be bastardized into something that it wasn't, even though that was the Democrats' fault. I'm like, I get where you're saying that we need to stand up with y'all if there is an element that thinks that, but no, you allowed your community to be brainwashed. You allowed your community, you allowed your family members to sit on the sidelines when it was time to vote. You allowed narratives to take shape that wasn't true. You didn't fight and stand with us tooth and nail. You didn't stand in the pocket when it was time to stand in the pocket, when the shit started to really come at BLM and come at police brutality to the point to where, when we see people getting killed by the police and it's still been continuing to happen, it's not even really a where people get mad anymore, because it's like commonplace now. But then now that it's shifted and ICE has started to attack American citizens, it's become
pulling a man out of his house in his underwear in the freezing.
Right.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong, and it's definitely something we should fight for. But I'm like this, man. We've done enough fighting. We've done enough protesting, and it's y'all turn. It's y'all turn to bear this cross. And at some point, you're gonna have to lose blood like we did. You're going to have to be the ones that's on the forefront of the water hose and then the dogs being sicked on you. And, the continuing killing of people because you're protesting. If that's what it takes, then you're going to have to do it. And then when it gets to that moment, when it's time for us to really stand up, we'll stand. But for me right now, no, I'm like, this is what you got. It's like that Joker on the Joker. If y'all seen the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, one of my favorite movies of all time, at the end, when he said, he made that little statement, made that little speech. And at the end, he said, you get what you fucking deserve. You get what you fucking deserve. You voted for this shit. You stood on the sidelines. If you didn't vote for the shit or you didn't stand with us strong enough, you get what you fucking deserve. And this is what we deserve. We're next. Best believe they coming for us too. At some point, we're gonna get up. But right now, I think the black populace is tired. We done it.
Yeah. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I'm not gonna politicize the already politicized and political climate. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sow more seeds of division. I'm not gonna do that. This is a fight. This is a fight for everybody. Um, yeah, you had the Latino community and others sit on the sideline, vote wrong, yeah. But what we're seeing and what they're doing is completely unlawful. And I'm not one for I'm not one for being bullied or made to be afraid. I keep my eyes on the end goal of all of this. And I feel in my heart of hearts that the end goal of this is to turn this whole thing around, right back around, and pointing at us and try to throw us back into a lesser people because of the powers that be. I really feel like that. I feel like every move being made is pointing that direction, attempting to cut us off from the rest of the world. The two things that stand out to me with all of this ICE stuff is if we go back to when the chat room was exposed with the Republicans or whomever or the MAGA, talking about women. I think it might have been Jasmine Crockett, if I'm not mistaken, saying, they're going to be raped. I can't wait till they're in chains and all that type of stuff that was going on. I look back to that because there are people out there that want that. We're finally starting to expose some of these ICE individuals, these cowards in these masks. We're starting to see that they are members of the Proud Boys and the QAnon and all that. They're starting to be exposed. People are finally starting to put their side-by-side pictures together and put that out there. I had those thoughts before they even start doing that, because who else would join a militia for Trump to come out and just be reckless with this? But I draw the line at murder, so I can't get on the board with dividing and not wanting to fight back against that. I think that's everybody's fight and not just other people's alone. I thought that was kind of crazy, G, to say it's time for y'all blood to be spilled. That's a little bit too far for me. I can't go that far. If we're gonna live here, which we all plan on living here, it's a fight for everybody. So when this shit comes to Alabama, and I'm specifically thinking of the midterms and voting, I think we're going to see those boots on the ground when we show up to the polls. I think those boys are going to be there, and it's going to be some decisions that everybody got to make on going in to make your vote. I think it's going to ramp up before we get there, simply because the courts and the judicial system are just late on everything. They're behind in every single thing, even though they're doing it the way it's supposed to be done. But while we're waiting on those things to get passed and things to be done, they wilding. They wilding out here, son. They wilding on everybody. So it ain't just them that's in those detention centers. There's some black people in those detention centers too. There's some black children in those detention centers. There's people dying in those detention centers. So
they're being raped in them too, from what I've heard.
I don't see of say it again.
They're being raped in the detention center too, from what I've heard. There was a report of a woman being raped.
Well, they,
in exchange for seeing her children.
That's
that's just a report I read. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't doubt. I won't doubt any of the evil atrocities when we're talking about people that used to hang us from trees and burn us alive at the stake, and people lying on us to have danger placed on us, and 12 and 13-year-old boys sent to prison with grown men to live out the rest of their days. 13 and 14-year-old black boys being put in electric chairs. Black women being having their bodies torn apart just so they can learn the reproductive system. So we're talking about those type of white people, right? We're talking about those. So I don't doubt any of the atrocities that we're going to hear that's happening in these detention centers. And we just saw it live on the street when a man can pull out his gun and shoot a unarmed woman in the face. Right? So I don't doubt any of that. And to me, that's a fight for everybody, because it's life or death, right? And it's going to come to our doorstep, and we're going to have to be ready. That's why I'm always saying guard your grill. That's, some people say pray. I say guard your grill. That's me.
I mean, the impact I'm with you that it's going to impact everybody eventually. I'm not as far as their blood needs to spill more, or I'm not on that either. But as far as answering the questions, not for me. As far as getting off the sidelines if you're talking about getting out there protesting, it's not that time for me. I don't feel it in my spirit at this point that it's that time for me. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with G as far as the premise of do we have to be the people why we always got to be the bigger people? That does get tiring. And this coming from a man who I am a Christian and I do believe, you know what I'm saying? But as a black man, it gets tiring. It really does. It just really gets tiring having to turn the other cheek all the time, having to be the bigger race all the time. It's like we're trained to do it by our religions sometimes. We're trained to turn the other cheek. We're trained to forgive them for whatever they're doing. And it gets tiring at times, you know what I'm saying? Where sometimes when it's not specifically your fight per se, maybe this time, hey, we sit it out for a while, you know what I'm saying? And let them kind of see this is what it is when you're targeted. This is what it looks like. And I see the frustration in a lot of these white people's faces. I saw it in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I see it, and I see it in their faces because they're not used to it. Wait a minute, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Our civil liberties are being affected. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And I can see it in their faces, and now everybody's like, well, where's the black community? Well, where the hell is everybody when we going through it day to day? We got to pick up and be like, okay, let's get in the fight. You know what I'm saying? When people don't the Jewish community doesn't do that for us all the time. You know what I'm saying?
The Asian community,
these other communities, the Hispanic community, everybody's on board. I mean, yeah. Now I'm going to go back to this. You remember when in New York, I think it was, all the Asian people were being attacked, like just in broad daylight, getting punched and hit with bats or whatever. Do you see how quickly Republican and Democrat, everybody came together and made a law? It's not like that for us. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is the frustrating part. It's like we have to fight every fight. We supposed to be in it. Like, well, where's the black community? What are you gonna
Not
do?
this time. Not this time.
And it's getting tired. It gets
Until
tiring.
it come to our
It's tiring.
doorstep. Until it come to our doorstep. I'm not. I don't think we need to. I think, like you just said, Dante, it's their time, and I don't know why y'all got offended by me saying their blood needs. I'm not saying that their blood should shed, but we shed blood to get our rights. Our ancestors shed blood to get our rights, and if it comes to that, and they have to do that, I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm just saying that. We just saw a young lady lost her life, got shot in the face, and I'm not, it was sad. It was terrible, for that lady's family to lose her in that manner. But that's the shit that we've been putting up with for decades and centuries. And if it comes to that, and they have to bear that burden, they have to bear their cross, then it's their turn to do that, because they have not had to do that since the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, when they were fighting to keep us enslaved. It's their time. That's what I'm saying. It's their time, and we definitely are next. I am not dismissive of that point. I am not led. I'm not in a state of mind that says that, this is just on the illegal immigrant community. We know who they coming for next. That's why we tried to get them to vote the right way. We fought tooth and nail for the Black Lives Matter movement. We were angry. We protested. We had statues removed. And they got out there and they finally was like, there's no way I can sit on the sideline. So they got out there and made signs and protested. But again, they didn't stay in the pocket with us, because if they did, laws would have been passed. Laws would have been passed. They would have voted for more Democrats, the independents I'm speaking of. And the people that, don't obviously, don't know who to vote for. And then the ones that voted Democrat in 2020 got out and voted Republican in 22 and 24. That's what I'm speaking of. The people that are not Trump's 35%. They're not his base. But the people that really, that have, some amount of dignity and some amount of respect for the Black community, for illegal immigrants. Let's not even say that, for any other minority community. Those are the people that they have to bear this burden. They have to carry this torch. They have to carry this torch. They're going to have to continue to carry the torch until we, as the Black community, if you feel like you need to get out there, Jerry, by all means, anybody else. If you feel like it's time to get out the sideline, get out the sideline. But for me, hey, I'm just trying to make the ends meet right now, bro, until it's time, because I'm tired.
And I just want to say her name too. The young lady's name, Renee Nicole Good. So I just want to make sure.
Say her name.
Yeah, make sure we give her that respect.
Let's say her name, Renee Nicole Good.
So I just want to,
amongst the other people that have lost their lives over the years, Philando Castile, Mike Brown, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. Say their name, Sandra, whatever. I can't remember her last name.
Bland.
Sandra Bland. Put her name and all the others. And when that shit was happening, I always was of the thought that we shouldn't necessarily highlight make it all about the loss of Black lives. We should talk about police brutality. That's it. It's police brutality, no matter who it's against. We know it's against us, but it's police brutality. And this is all that this is. Law enforcement overstepping their bounds illegally. Half the motherfuckers didn't even pass the fucking test. You talk about DEI. They had to lower the standards to let some of them in. But yeah, I don't know if we need to get off the sideline. So that's your own opinion, but I say no.
You willing to get out there in March, Jerry? Are you at that point?
We've had a couple of. I just did the MLK run. Although that wasn't a protest, that was a celebration. Some we should do. Everybody should. I think everybody should. It should be more people doing that every year. I didn't feel we didn't sing any songs or whatever. I thought there should have been, but it was a good time. Anyway,
I went to my first MLK parade yesterday. That was the first time I went to an MLK parade.
That was the first time?
I've never known a city to have an MLK parade. We never had one in Decatur. I never heard about one in Birmingham, not one in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I don't know how it's been going down in Birmingham as of recent. I hadn't been since I was a little
I've been to MLK breakfasts and events like that,
they
but
used
not
to
a parade.
they used to go from the church of the bombing to the statue in Lynn Park. They used to do that every year. I'm not sure if they still do it.
That ain't that far.
I don't know, huh?
That ain't that far. That's like right.
Yeah, I know, but it was it used to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? As far as the people, but everybody used to gather at the church, and then go to the park and gather around the statue, and there was always speakers. People spoke.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. People spoke at Lynn Park. I used to do that as a little boy.
I was talking specifically ice.
Well, I haven't. The question is, will I go?
Would you go? Let's say there was one here. Would you go? Would you feel compelled to go based on the situation?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. They've been doing some protests here. They've been doing they've done 2 No Kings protests here in Birmingham that I know of. They gathered on the south side when Renee Good was killed. They shut the south side down for a little bit for that. So if there's a ICE protest, I would probably go to that because like I said, I think that they're gonna be here when it's time to vote. I think they're gonna be here, so we don't have a choice.
No, I think they're going to be in Democratic strongholds. I think that's where they'll be. I don't think they care about Alabama. I think they care about Democratic strongholds, and I think they'll be there. And I think that's what they're going to target.
Well, I think they'll be.
They're gonna probably go back to Chicago.
Yeah, it's gonna be Democratic strongholds or Democratic cities. That's where they're gonna really go. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna. They're gonna win Alabama regardless. They don't. They're gonna be in those Democratic strongholds that are gonna sway the election. That's where he's gonna implement them at to try to scare black people from going.
Well, he's already made people afraid. If you've been watching the reports of the people with boots on the ground, Jolly, what is it? The Jolly Ginger and Don Lemon.
Oh yeah, I know that.
If you've been watching them, they have been reporting. My man Gunny. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with him, but Gunny. All 3 of them have been reporting the same things as far as the cities where ICE is, like business is shut down. Like some of the busiest parts of town, it's a ghost town. So
I got friends in Minnesota, and they say, when they leave the house, it's
the busiest parts of town. Nobody's there. People are pulling their kids out of school. So to have that effect now, and knowing that they're recruiting more and more ICE agents by the day, they're going to have more people out during voting time, and people are going to have to make a decision as far as to try to fight through that. Because at that point, anybody brown and black, they're going to be trying to fuck them up or
definitely we need to get off the sideline or try to encourage our brethren and sisters that are in those communities that they're going to be heavily invested in. We're going to have to make sure that we, continue to support them in whatever way we can from here and, continue to encourage them to fight the good fight. That's when we get off the sideline, when it's impacting us. But the protesting, y'all can sing the "We Shall Overcome" and, go in and deal with the bear spray and all the chemical agents that they deploying, the smoke bomb, the little car they smoked. What it was, a car that they smoke bombed and almost killed.
The car caught fire.
Mother and father, family. With 6 kids. they were just trying to get home from from their youngest son's basketball game, and they ran into in the community, not at a protest spot or nothing like that. They were just trying to get home through the block. You know what I'm saying? And ICE had set up a roadblock in their community, in their neighborhood, and it went left. And they started tear gassing everybody, and one of the canisters blew up, exploded by their car.
Right.
And the bang set off their airbags. Right. So they couldn't get out. And not only did when it set off their airbags, I'm not sure if they sent one inside the car, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
what they had to fight for their lives to get out. But because they couldn't see and they had to use windows and shit, they could only get one child out at a time. Mom going to get one, dad going to get one, and the baby, unfortunately, was last because of the car seat. And by the time they got their child out, she said that the baby was lifeless. CPR, fortunately, was able to save his life.
Terrible.
Or whatever.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
and I wonder what kind of reprieve these folks gonna get from all this bullshit, man. And the Republicans that have sat idly by and allowed this shit to fucking happen on their watch without them being any type of oversight, without them executing any part of their fucking job to be the branch to hold the power in check. They rather kowtow to this fucking bastard, man. That shit pisses me the fuck off, man.
They're in the Epstein files. They're in there. The ones that ain't saying a damn thing, and especially the ones that's okay with it and speaking up and saying that Renee Good tried to kill the ICE officer, they're in the Epstein files.
It's just sad, man.
They're in there, man.
A blatant cover-up of a fucking pedophile ring. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know if they allow this shit to go unchecked. I know that ain't gonna happen while he got all this power, but the moment that they're able to get it back, hopefully in this next election, if they don't do exactly what he's done, immediately bring charges. I don't give a fuck what they got to do. Fucking do it. The shit that Biden did, I get it. You were trying to play by the rules. But you don't do that shit with this. I can go on. We need to end it, man. This shit pisses me off.
The Epstein files.
These crackers are fucked up. These crackers are fucked up. They have shown their true colors, and they will never put the genie back in the bottle.
The Epstein files were supposed to be. They were ordered to be released a month ago.
Right.
They still haven't been released.
They're trying to get the judge to throw it out.
They're working on that now, but that was like a month ago, which proves
unbelievable.
Proves the depths of how many people are in there. It was an international ring. So you got people in other countries that don't want that shit out there.
And the problem is what people are talking about, though. It's people on both sides in there.
Exactly.
And that's bring them all down.
Exactly.
Bring them all down.
It's people on both sides who don't want it out.
Yep.
Bring them all down.
That's why it'll never come out, especially unsanitized. It'll never come out.
That's bullshit. That is that's the most violent
because both sides. We gotta go, man. But man, it's interesting. It's getting interesting and scary around here. But
it's crazy.
With the Oldheads, man, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. We know it's late, but till next time, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe button on YouTube, Trash Talking with the Oldheads.
Guard your grill.
Trash Talking with the Oldheads. And welcome to our new members on the Facebook group, Trash Talking with the Oldheads. I forget the names right now, but I let them in earlier this week. So welcome to the group. Till next
Guard
time,
your grill.
We are the Oldheads. We out of here.
Guard your grill. Guard your grill.